Good morning, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Renner. I hope you're having a great day. Today is Wednesday, April 15th. We are going to be talking about another number. And I know you're probably wondering what I'm wearing on my shirt. This is the number we're going to be talking about today. I know it's a 2, but there's 2 2s. Boys and girls, this number comes after 21 when we count. So a quick way to get to this number is maybe start at 10. If you can start counting at 10, you can get to this number pretty quick. Are we ready to try it? Let's start at 10. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Boys and girls, this is the number 22. I was talking with my nephew Nicholas. Hi Nicholas. A few days ago, and I asked him if he wanted me to do the number 9 or the number 22. So he's going to be turning 5 in May. So he wanted me to do the 22. So this is a bigger number. I do have another video for the number 9 if you want to look at the number 9 also. So we are going to be doing the 22 today. We are going to learn how to write the 22. So if you want to get a marker or a pencil, anything you have at home. I know Mrs. Musser was doing watercolors the other day, shaving cream. I'm using a piece of paper and a marker so I can practice writing the 22. You can practice writing the 22 however you want to. So this is what a 22 looks like. We have a poem that we usually use when we write numbers, and we're going to write our name at the top. It's important to keep practicing name writing, boys and girls. So we always do an uppercase, a capital letter first. So I'm going to write Mrs. Musser. Oh my goodness, I need to go back to bed and start over. Mrs. Renner. We're going to write Mrs. Renner. So hopefully I can make you laugh today, right? You can smile. So I'm going to write my name at the top. I hope you're writing your name. Here we go. Mrs. Renner. There you go. I wrote my name. Now, we're going to write 22. So remember, when you make a number 2, which is so easy, all of you know the number 2. So this is just showing 2 2s, okay? 22, 22. So you just have to practice this. That's why I'm wearing it today, because the more you put it in your environment, which means in your house, see if you can hang it up. Ask your grown-up in your home, whoever is watching you, if you can hang up the 22, wear the 22. Let's celebrate it. You need to make a big deal about the 22, and you will remember that it's a 22. So let's start. So I always start at the top of the number. I usually have an arrow that goes around so you know that's where we're going to start. You don't need arrows or dots. I'm only doing that because that's the direction we're going. It's like a train. That's the direction we're going on the track. So let's start. And the poem is around and back on a railroad track, 2 2 2. Are you ready? Go around and back on a railroad track, 2 2 2. And we're just going to do the same thing over here. Around and back on a railroad track, 2 2 2. Now, I need to test my brain out. I hope you're testing your brain out today. I want to make some all by myself. So for doing this video, I did some dots to make some 2s. You can just make 2s. If you're having a hard time, then maybe somebody in your house can make you some 2s and you can trace them. So here we go. I'm going to do mine now. Around and back on the railroad track, 2 2 2. See? I have a few more I'm going to do. I hope you're trying. Around and back on a railroad track, 2 2 2. Now, I've done this a few times now, so this is where I'm going to see if I can do it by myself. I'm going to try to remember my poem. Around and back on the railroad track, 2, 2, 2. I did it! Around and back on the railroad track, 2, 2, 2. So boys and girls, I hope that you can practice 22 today. I have a fun game we're going to play to help us count 22 things, how to match numbers, how to look at numbers, to remember numbers. You're going to need a drinking straw, and you're going to need little pieces of paper. They look like little squares, and I want you to see if you can get help from somebody, but it might be easier to do numbers 1 to 10 first. Cut out little squares, see if somebody can help you cut out little pieces of paper. And I want you to number them, and you might need help numbering them, but I would number them, and we have a number 1 here, and then do a number 2, and you want to do a number 3. What's next? 4. The sunshine's coming in my window there. 4, and you want to go all the way to 10, and then I want you to stop once you have all 10. I think I'm on 6, and then 7, 8, that number 9 we're talking about, and then 10. So you have your 10 squares, and they're cut out and they're numbered, they're ready to go. Now, with those, I just want you to lay them flat and spread them out on a table. So I'm going to take my numbers from 1 to 10, and I'm just going to lay them out on the table so I can see them all. You want to spread them out so you can see all the numbers. Now, we are going to break it up so it's easier and it's not overwhelming to see all these numbers at once, because we have to get to 22. So we're going to do one group of 10. So 1 to 10, you should have numbers on the table. Let me see if I can show you what I mean by that. So Mrs. Renner has her, sorry, this recording is challenging. So you want to put your numbers on the table like that. And then, hold on, sorry about that. Sorry. Okay. Then you need to cut out more squares. So we already took care of 1 to 10. That's finished. Now we need to start at 11, because what comes after 10? 11. So you want help from a grown-up to cut out more squares. So we want to start with 11. Let me see if I can find it. So here's 11. Let me see. There's 11. So you want 11. And what comes after 11? 12. So we have to find 12. So you have to make a number 12. And then 13, which is a 1 and a 3. The numbers that are the teen numbers are tricky, but that's a 13, a 1 and a 3. And then 14, okay, 14, and then 15, it's after 15, 16, 17, and then 18, and then 19, and then 20, and then 21, and then 22. That's the number we're talking about. So what I did was, to keep this simple and easy, I did numbers 1 to 10 on this side of my table, and I put them down on the table, and then I did 11 to 22 on the opposite side. Keep it simple, separate them. It's a lot of numbers, so we want to keep it simple. Try our best to keep it simple. Again, you might need help with this number activity. Now, the other thing that you're going to need to do this activity is you need, we talked about 10 frames about a week or so ago, and I used 10 frames this morning for my number 9. But since we have a bigger number, we need 3 sets of 10 frames. So I'll show you mine. You can either print one or you can make your own. I can show you how to make it, and it's just paper and a marker. So I'll show you mine. So this is the first 10 frame. It's from, and I numbered it so you can see the numbers. So it goes from 1, you can count all the way to 10. And then down here is the second 10 frame, and I started at 11, and it goes to 20. Well, the reason why I need the third 10 frame is because I need a spot for number 21 and 22. They were sad. They couldn't fit here. So Mrs. Runner had to make them another frame, another 10 frame down here, so there was room for them. So now all 22 numbers have their own little special spot. So I'm going to show you how to make one 10 frame, and then you can get the idea and then try to make the other two. So if you know how to make a rectangle, you are on the right track, boys and girls. Now when you make a rectangle, you want to start here. Let me get my board, it's easier. So you start at the top here, and you're just diving down. Ready? Dive down, and then you want to go right over. You want to go over, and then you want to go up and over. So it's down, over, up, and over. So you just made a rectangle. Now, when you're finished with the rectangle, I need you to make dots. Now, when you make these dots, you don't want them kissing each other or being like French fries in a French fry container. We don't want them to be close together. We want to separate the dots so you have space. It's like we're making little tiny doors for each of our numbers. So I'm going to show you where to put the dots. So I would go over about 1 inch, and I would put a dot. So there's one dot. Now remember, I said we don't want it to be kissing or like French fries in a container, so I don't want to put the next dot right next to this dot. I want to space it out a little bit and make another dot. So that's dot 2. And then you want to go over a little more, same thing, about 1 inch, and dot 3, and then dot 4. So you want to give it some space. If they're too close together, we won't have any room for our numbers, boys and girls. So when you make those dots, you want to go to that dot. And actually, before we do that, we need to make 2 more dots. So we have those 4 dots, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want to come to the side of the rectangle over here, and we want to put another dot. And then we want to come over to this side, and we want to make another dot. Now, we are going to connect the dots. I know you like to connect dots, so we're going to make a line and go straight across and connect that dot. And then we have to connect these 4 dots. So you start here and you go straight down to this side, to the other side, and you want to go straight down to this side of the rectangle, and then you want to go straight down and then straight down. So now you have your 10 frame. So maybe you can try to make that. Remember, leave space in between for your numbers, and you'll be fine. If you need help, you might want to ask someone, but remember to say please and thank you. And if your grown-up is busy, just wait patiently. Remember our song, it's called I Am Patient, I Am Patient. Yes, I am. Yep, soon it will be my turn, right? You have to be patient. I know it's hard. I know you can do it. All right, so we have our numbers are ready. This is the fun part now. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of work to get to the fun part. So you need a drinking straw, and you are going to pretend you're drinking numbers. You're not really drinking numbers, boys and girls. We're just going to pretend that we're drinking juice or water, and you have to, I know a lot of you have water bottles with straws at school, so you know how to suck up. So when you get a number, it's going to be on the table. This is a matching game, but we're matching and we're sucking up the number with our straw, and then we're going to put it on we're going to match it on our 10 frame. So we're going to start with numbers 1 to 10 first. Please do not do numbers 11 to 22. Just hold off on those. They're big. Let's just keep this simple. We're going to start with numbers 1 to 10. So on this side of the table is what I'm looking at. And we're going to suck up a number. We're going to start with number 1. and we're going to stick it on our 10 frame. We're going to match the number 1 with the 1. So how you do this is you take your straw, your number's down on the table here, okay? And you just want to suck up the number like you're drinking something. So you're just picking it up. How cool is that? Now, that's a fun way to learn numbers, right? I know you're saying it at home. You're so excited to play this game, okay? Anyways, so look, I got the number 1. So now, it's hard to see with the sunshine. I love the sunshine, by the way. That's the number 1. So on my 10 frame, you have to find the number 1 and you have to put it on the number 1. Ready? There's the number 1. So I have to keep my paper down or all my numbers will fall, boys and girls. So Mrs. Renner's putting her number 1 down. Now what number comes after number 1? I hope you know when you count. 1, 2. So you have to get your straw and you have to get the number 2, boys and girls. Are you ready? Here we go. You want to pick it up. Remember, pretend you're drinking something. Suck it up. 2. I got it. And you want to do the number 3. I'm going to find the number 3 over here. I got it. Yay. And then you just keep going. I'm going to do the number 4. And then you're going to do the number 5. I'm not going to do all this, but I do want to get to the next frame. Oh, can you see that? Everything's so bright and it's like hard to see. 5. And then 6. 6. And then 7. And since you have the numbers on the frame and on the paper, you're just matching. So this should be easy. 7. Can you see that? No, I can't see it. It's hard to see. 7, I'm sorry. And then 8. Whoop, it dropped. Just suck it back up again. And then that 9 that we're learning about, woo, there's the 9. And then 10. So we got to 10, boys and girls. Now, this next part, there it is, 10, sorry. This next part is the next frame. So I can't pick up my frame, but we're going to be on number 11. So number 11 is 2 number 1s. I don't know if you can see this or not because of my, oh, here we go. I think you can see that. Maybe not. I really need that shade closed. Okay, number 11. So that's the number you want to start with. So you want to use your drinking straw and you just want to suck up the number 11. Woo! That one dropped on me. Whoop! It dropped again. Boy. So, and you just want to go all the way to 22. So you have your other numbers that we saved over here to keep it simple. So if you did 11, then you want to do number 12. You want to suck up number 12 and you want to put that on your frame. And number 13. And number 14. I found 14. You want to put that on. And you want to then find the 15. And the 16. The 16 is, let me see if you can see that. Probably not with my sunshine. Oh, there it is. I have to just tilt it a little bit. 16. And you just want to keep going. 17. And then 18. And then 19. And we're on 20. It's a 2 and a 0. 20. Let me see if I can tilt it. Where's the sun? Oh boy. 20. All right. Now, so we did the first 10 frame, which fit numbers 1 to 10. And then we did the second 10 frame, which fit numbers 11 to 20. Well, 21 and 22, they want a spot. They want a seat, right? They want to get in the door and sit down. So listen, I have 21 and 22 here. So we have that third 10 frame. So you're going to pick up the 21 because that comes after 20. 21, put that on there. And then 22. I have a 22 here. It matches the 22 I'm wearing. 22, 22. So you want to put that on your 10 frame, boys and girls. And maybe I can just get my camera here to show you. I'll just turn this. Hold on. Give me 1 minute, boys and girls. I can do this. I can do this, right? Okay, so let me show you what the finished product looks like. So there's your numbers, 1 to 22. It's a lot of numbers. If you get upset, just stop, come back, take your time, get help from an adult. It's just a fun way to learn your numbers by picking them up. It's like magic by using this drinking straw. So boys and girls, I hope you had a great time learning about the number 22. Before we go, I want to show you my caterpillars. Let's see if I can bring this closer so the sun is not in our way here. So, let's see. So, it is messier in there. What do you think? Did it get a little messier? It looks like they're eating more. And let me see if I can turn this so you can see. Let me get, I have to be very careful when I pick this up. But they're in there and they are hungry and they're getting bigger. Look at that one. He's really big. Oh, he's moving. Maybe if we're quiet, they'll move. So they got bigger and they're fuzzy. And it looks pretty messy in there. They make a mess when they eat. Do you make a mess when you eat sometimes? It's okay, boys and girls. Just get a napkin. Yeah, they're going to go to the top soon. They're making their way up there. Look at that one. He's looking. Boys and girls, he might be going up there. Remember I told you the butterfly life cycle? These little caterpillars used to be in an egg and they hatched and came out. And they were teeny tiny caterpillars when Mrs. Renner got them to her house. And then they ate and they ate and they ate and they grew and they grew and they got bigger. And do you remember what the next part of the life cycle is after they're a caterpillar? Remember I told you it's like a blanket. They wrap up in a blanket, but there's a special word for it. It's a really big word. Can you say chrysalis? It almost reminds me of the word crystal, but it's chrysalis. They're not there yet. Maybe by the weekend, because today's Wednesday, so maybe if you sleep tonight, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe 3 sleeps. Maybe in 3 sleeps, they'll be hanging from the top of the cup in their chrysalis, boys and girls. They definitely are moving though. So I'm going to end there. I just wanted to show you how your friendly caterpillars are doing. And we'll check back and see, boys and girls, we'll check back and see whenever they're hanging from the top of the cup. So have a great day, boys and girls. I miss you. Take care.